How have kind of you perceived what's happened over the last couple of weeks?
This is the beginning of change. The lid now is off the jar. That lid's never going back on again. I don't condone the violence, but I can understand why people got involved in the violence. And we all can understand why people went on the streets in the first place. If you live in a democracy and you want change, you vote for change. You make political parties do the things you want them to do. But the question is, what do you do in a democracy that every time you vote for change, every time you vote for what the politicians tell you they're going to do on your behalf, every time you vote and get them into office, they then do the complete opposite of what they promised you. So all the way from my lifetime, every government has said we're going to reduce immigration. From Blair to Cameron to Boris Johnson to Sunak and now to Keir Starmer, every single one of them is on public record saying we're going to reduce immigration. And every single one of them has done a 180 and increased immigration. What do you do in a democracy when that happens? Well, you have to rebel. You have to go on the streets. And some people will turn to violence because it's a rebellion. What else can you do? People are thinking, we've tried your way. I've taken part in democracy. I've voted in general elections. I've voted in democratic referendums. And every time I do it, you tell me I'm scum. You tell me I'm wrong. And then you do the opposite of what you said you were going to do. That isn't called a democracy. That's called the appearance, the illusion of democracy. Because it doesn't matter who you vote for, you're going to get what we're going to do. That isn't a democracy. So that's why people are on the streets. Keir Starmer will do nothing about this because he's part of the problem, just like the last 30 years. All politicians of all colours are the problem. This would have happened if Tories were still in power. Labour are just unfortunate that Southport killing happened on their watch, because this would have happened no matter who was in government. So what can the people do? Well, turning straight to violence isn't the answer. Violence eventually is the answer. If we can't get change and we vote for change, we can't get it, but that's decades away. The people need to organise, and we need to start making sure our voices are heard, and we need to be on the streets more, just like Free Palestine, just like Black Lives Matter. And we need to ensure we're non-violent. And when the police treat us appallingly, we capture it on video. And then the world can see how we're treated by the British police when we're not committing violence, when we're using our democratic rights to demonstrate and protest. And then politicians, because let's not forget, what does a politician want? All politicians only want one thing, and that's our vote, is to be in power. If we can mobilise and they see we're the majority and we can make them win elections, politicians will change overnight what they're promising and what they will do. So the politician only wants to be in power, and that's how we change it. It's changing now. It's going to take at least a decade. The next election, it won't be 5 years from now. It'll be less than that. Labour won't survive. But the next election will be purely an immigration election. The last one was a little bit on immigration, but this one will be purely on immigration. Reform would have built up more support then. There might be other players in the field by then. And then the election after that will be where change starts happening. So we're looking about a decade before we get real change. But we're on this road now. It's definitely coming. There's no going back. The people have been awoken now and can see what's going on. And they're fed up. And we're still a little bit timid at the moment because we don't want to be called hurty words. And we're a little bit timid because we don't want to be sent to jail for a tweet. But stronger people will come through, and people like me, not hopeful I'll go to jail, but people like me will go, I'm not changing what I tweet about. And if I've got to get locked up, I'll be locked up. But I'm not changing because I'm not a coward. I'll still be polite. I'll still be sensible. I'm not changing. I'm not saying I'll be the same person I was 2 years ago that I will be 2 years from now. And if that means you've made new laws where suddenly I'm a criminal, then I'm a criminal. But I'm not for changing. I'm not for being a coward. And That's how we'll get the change. And maybe we can speed up a few years, but it's coming. I can feel it. I can smell it in the air.
Did you enjoy that video? I think you did. Come on now, hit that bell, subscribe, comment. Let's build this channel. I need more followers. I need more subscribers. Be part of the journey. See you soon.